Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show on this Saturday. Doing a show on Saturday because there's been a major escalation in World War III. Major escalation. A new war has been declared in a new spot. Israel's declared war. Let's take a look at what's happening. Israel is at war. Benjamin Netanyahu has declared war after Hamas surprise attack. Many rockets they've launched, and a lot of people have died. From what I understand, over 40 people have died. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of injured. And of course, this was a very swift attack. I heard that they were paragliding in to Israel. The Hamas soldiers were paragliding on paragliders coming into Israel. So we got a lot of full special reports here on the news. They're declaring a state of civil emergency throughout Israel beginning this evening. Hamas launches rocket attacks, surprise attack upon Israel. Hamas kills 40 in an unprecedented wide-ranging incursion into Israel, Netanyahu said. He said, "We are at war." At least 40 reported dead in a major holiday that includes thousands of rockets and dozens of Hamas fighters infiltrating the heavily fortified border in several locations, by air, by land, and by sea. Now, what I wanted to talk about here is, I'm going to tell you guys, there's things written in ancient texts and ancient scrolls. This is the war scroll found in the Qumran cave, along with the other scrolls known as the Dead Sea Scrolls. And they talk about wars in the time of the end of the world because this was written thousands of years ago. They talk about events that are happening in our day, and they talk about a great war between the sons of light and the sons of darkness. Also, we have something in Revelations that talks about something called Armageddon. It says, according to the book of Revelations in the New Testament of the Christian Bible, Armageddon is a prophesied location of a gathering of armies for a battle during the end times, which is variously interpreted as either literal or symbolic location. End of the world scenario. Armageddon is also mentioned. It says the Mount of Megiddo in the northern Israel is not actually a mountain but a tell, or a mound or a hill, created by many generations of people living and rebuilding in the same spot. So this Megiddo has everything to do with this prophesied battle that occurred at the end of times, the Battle of Armageddon it's called, where all the nations would fight. There's a number of similarities to what's happening right now. Oil is one of our last enormous resources that's very much needed. And this is an oil-rich region, the area around the Middle East and the Persian Gulf region. Oil quite literally comes bubbling out of the ground in this region. Now, we have oil like in West Texas, in the Permian Oil Basin. But it's deep stuff now. I mean, they've harvested all the easy pickings there. Now they have to do what's called fracking in order to get the oil, which is quite hard. Now here in Canada, we have a lot of oil too. But this fight that's occurring in the Middle East and what's making it into such a tinderbox is one, ideologies. The people living there have different belief systems. And they've been warring against each other for a very long time, and so it's a hotbed for the best way for me to describe it is that area of the world, a Middle Eastern war. It is nothing but a keg full of nitroglycerin or dynamite. And so that's what's happened. We've had fire break out in the place on Earth where all the dynamite is kept. And now there's a fire burning in the building where they store the dynamite. That's basically what's just happened. My way of describing it to you guys. What's just happened in Israel, and Israel declaring war. It says that Hamas has taken the militants have taken hostages during the attack on Israel. Israel will do anything to get their hostages back, either whether alive or dead. They got videos here purporting to show a captured Israeli woman on her hands tied, being forced into a vehicle. Move on. So that's what's happening over there right now. We're going to have to wait and see how this develops, but what I wanted to show you here about this is Israel and Iran are edging closer to direct confrontation. Now, this article was written in June of 2023, so a few months ago. And Israel and Iran are edging closer to direct confrontation back then. What's this going to do? Is this going to incite things and get things going? Now Iran is quite a powerful military. Iran's got a powerful military, but I don't think they have any nukes yet. I don't know for sure. But Israel's got nukes. And so Israel, I think, has a lot of nukes. It's something to consider in all of this. So, if things get out of control, the nuclear part of World War III could begin if Israel pushes the red button. You know, I was learning some stuff last night about this red button stuff, you know. And I was watching a show about nuclear war, you know, and they were talking about the President of the United States, and they said if Russia were to launch, say, 400 nuclear missiles at the United States, they said, well, we would only have 20 minutes. And if we didn't be able to get it done, get our missiles in the air, they keep them out in the Midwest in silos. They got, they're called Minutemen, right? If they said they couldn't get those in the air in the 20 minutes, Russian nuclear missiles would hit, and it would, in that 20-minute time frame, and before they were launched, and it would blow them all up before they could get out of the silos. So they got to use them or lose them. And I was watching the protocol that they have. They have a protocol, and they have this bag they carry around that's got all their stuff. They showed on the program, they showed how the president carries some sort of a card that's got the nuclear codes on it. And they got some sort of a briefcase they carry around. Did they call it a biscuit or something? They have a name for it, this briefcase they carry around with all these nuclear codes and everything else in it, all this stuff. At all times, it's near the president. And so they said, okay, they give him, I think they said they give him like 30 minutes or 1 minute. I can't remember what it was. It was 30 seconds, either 30 seconds or 1 minute to decide, the president to decide. And they get all this time allocated. It's like, in order to get those nuclear missiles launched over there in the Midwest, they got to hurry if the missiles are incoming from Russia in a surprise attack. They got to hurry, right? And so they have it all set out. We give you 30 seconds for this, and we give you 60 seconds for that, and 30 seconds for this. So, like, hurry to get it done. But I can just imagine, I mean, say at 2:30 in the morning, and the president is laying there in bed going, and all of a sudden, three generals are standing next to his bed with a big black briefcase, and they wake him up, shake him awake. And he's like groggy, and where the hell am I? And they say, you got 30 seconds to decide. Decide what? You got 15 seconds left. What are you guys talking about? Okay, time's up. I mean, what I'm saying is maybe it's not going to go according to their exact plans. They got like 1 minute allocated for this and 30 seconds allocated for that, and this to make these decisions and stuff. And I'm just saying, if it comes in the middle of the night or something, people groggy and stuff, I mean, how are you going to get it done in these allotted times? I mean, I just don't get it all. I mean, maybe they should. I don't know what the solution to that would be, because we're humans, and I mean, we have to take. Sometimes it takes time to take something in. And I can just imagine, I mean, if I was a world leader or something, and I was in bed and they come up and four generals come up to my bed and they were shaking me awake and 2:30 in the morning, the first 2 or 3 minutes, I would be so groggy I wouldn't know what in the hell's going on. They would be trying to tell me what's going on. I wouldn't know, for crying out loud. It'd take about 5 minutes before I'd finally be coherent enough and cognitive enough and everything else, and be able to listen to what they're saying before you could actually make a cognitive decision on what to do, especially with something like that, because the decision would be launch or don't launch. And I imagine there'd be a lot of stuff like, are you really sure these are missiles and not some asteroid coming in from outer space or something like that? You have to ask them questions. And, oh, yes, sir, we're sure. This is missiles. They're coming in. But by the time you figured it all out, heck, you'd only have 5 minutes left. Probably. By the time they get it, if you only got 20 to start with, imagine it would probably, if you're waking up in the middle of the night, trying to shake off the grogginess. I'm just saying, But at any rate, maybe some sort of an automated system. But the problem with an automated system is, well, we all know, we've all seen computers do dumb things before. Something could trigger it, if you put it all automated, all run by computer. The computer could do it fast. It could make the decision in 1 second. But the problem with that is it might make the wrong decision based on the wrong information and blow the whole world up. For what? Oh, it was a mistake. It was a glitch in the X-ray, not the X-ray, but the radar machines, or some sort of a glitch, or maybe some UFOs set it off. Maybe the UFOs would do it on purpose. Say, hey, Wiz, that's a nice looking planet down there. How can we get that planet? I know. Well, we stayed, sir. The UFO guy comes up, the inside the flying saucer, he comes up to his general and he says, sir, we've studied the Earth. They've got this system set up by which, if they got a bunch of missiles coming from someplace here, they'll blow the other side up there, and then the other side will blow up, and it's called mutual assured destruction, where both sides blows each other up. He says, tell me more. The general, the alien general says, tell me more. Well, sir, once they trigger this system, and one side launches, the missiles can't go back. They're on a one-way trajectory to the other side, and then the other side will launch their missiles. He says, the alien general says, that's very interesting. Let's send down a fleet of UFOs and make them look like missiles. So the commander, he asks the general, he says, why would you want to do that? And he says, well, just think about it for a minute, he says to the general. The alien general says, just think about it for a minute. If this side blows that side up and that side blows that side up, and then all the people that are left over surviving are all in a state of primitive, he said, then we can just go down there and we can take over. It's our planet then. If all these dumb humans want to blow themselves up, we'll take it. No problem. A bunch of dummies. I mean, we're always falling for it. I know I'm straying off topic here a little bit, but what's really happening out there is the world's in a terrible state financially. It's going down the pooper. It's swirling around the bowl. Okay? Nobody wants to take responsibility. So just like they locked us all up with COVID, first one country did it, and then the next country watches that other country over there do it, and then they do it, and then some other country watches the first two countries do it, and the third country does it, and then they all start to do it. It's like a party thing. Oh, let's all do the same thing. They all follow each other's lead. You know, and I mean, this is the way with these leaders. They see one country diverting the people's attention away from the mess that they've made of the economy by going to war. They see one country do it, and then he's off the hook. That leader is off the hook, and he's just cheering all the people on, kill one another. Yeah, here, those are our enemies. They generally give a derogatory name for them, you know. And this is part of the war thing. It's to dehumanize the other side so that they can get them to go in there and kill, basically. Well, I don't know any other way of putting it. And so once they get rooting and cheering for war, they forget all about the economic thing. You know, and the world leader, he's off the hook, and he's still got his bank account all full of money. You know, where the people wouldn't have allowed them to get away with this crap. But war's the big excuse. It's like a diversion. Just like kids pull these diversions to get into the cookie jar. Like, you know, they learn at an early age, 4 or 5 years old, how to divert the parents' attention away, and then they look over and the cookie jar's half empty. Who did that? One little kid points at the other kid, and the other little kid points at the other little kid. He did it. And maybe they'll point at the dog. So the dog did it. This is just a bigger version of that. But here it comes, and we see them all descending into this war. One after another. But this isn't like it was back during Pearl Harbor and you know, I'm going to tell you guys something about the nuclear weapons. This is just an observation that I've made. Any war that we have now is not going to start out with nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons is not how it starts. Nuclear weapons is how it ends. If you don't believe that, just look back to World War II. Nuclear weapons was how it ended. Nuclear weapons are the finale. Not the beginning, not toward the start of the war. They're the finale. You know, like with the fireworks show, you go and they're watching the fireworks. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And the real big bangers, the real big fireworks, the real ones, they're holding them in reserve for the very end, the finale. And I think that might be the case here with this. Anyway, thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe. And we'll catch you guys on Monday with another show. Have a great afternoon. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.